The stars stretched endlessly above the glass domes of Arender City, reflecting faint glimmers of the nebula that hovered like a guardian in the night sky. Cale walked slowly through the bustling corridors of the interstellar port, his boots clicking softly against the polished metal floors. Humans were still few in the galaxy, but their reputation as resilient and adaptable had begun to spread among alien civilizations. Cale had come to Arender seeking work as a trade envoy, yet he could never have anticipated the path that would entangle him in the customs of a far stranger world. He paused before a towering building adorned with iridescent panels that shimmered with every angle of light. The building belonged to the family of Leora, a young alien woman whose beauty had already become a topic of conversation among the merchants and travelers of the city. Leora's family, prominent in Arender, had invited Cale ostensibly to discuss trade negotiations. Yet, as Cale would soon discover, their intentions were far less transactional than they claimed. "Cale, you honor us with your presence," boomed the deep voice of Elder Rian, Leora's father, as Cale entered the spacious reception hall. His skin shimmered in shades of amber and gold, a trait common among his kind, signaling status and wisdom. "Please sit. We have much to discuss." Cale nodded, keeping his composure despite the unease that had been building in his chest. He had heard whispers of how alien families sometimes arranged bonds between species, forging alliances through marriage. Yet he had never imagined that he would be invited to such a meeting so directly. Before he could ask any questions, Leora entered the room. Her appearance was mesmerizing, not just in beauty, but in presence. Her violet-hued skin glowed faintly, and her eyes, bright with curiosity, seemed to pierce into him. She gave a polite nod, and Cale returned it, unsure of what to say. "Father, we should speak plainly," Leora said, her voice calm but firm. "Cale is not here merely to negotiate trade. Our family wishes to secure a bond, one that ensures mutual respect and trust between our people. Cale, we ask you to consider joining our family formally." Cale blinked, uncertain at first if he had understood. "You mean marriage?" he asked cautiously. "Yes," Elder Rian replied, his tone unwavering. "It is customary among our people to bind alliances through such unions. We have observed you, Cale, and we believe your values align with those we wish to cultivate." The room seemed to tilt slightly, though the effect may have been purely in Cale's mind. He had never thought of himself as a figure of diplomacy beyond trade, let alone as someone who might be chosen for a marital bond by an alien family. His instincts, sharpened by years of survival in human conflicts, warned him to remain cautious. Yet the honor of being considered, as strange as it felt, tugged at something deeper. Over the following days, Cale was immersed in the customs of Leora's people. He observed their rituals, participated in formal meals where light itself danced on plates and vessels, and learned about their governance and philosophy. Leora's family treated him with kindness, but also with a persistent insistence that he accept their proposal. Cale struggled. Humans valued personal choice, and he had always prided himself on making his own path. Yet the more time he spent with Leora, the more he realized that her presence stirred something unfamiliar within him. She was not just graceful or intelligent. She seemed genuinely interested in understanding him, probing with subtle questions about humanity, resilience, and honor. One evening, Cale found himself walking the terraces of the family estate, overlooking the twin moons of Arender. Leora joined him, her expression contemplative. "Cale, I know this is overwhelming," she said softly. "Our customs are not yours. But I wish for you to see that this is not merely tradition. It is a recognition of potential. Humans possess qualities our people admire: courage, ingenuity, and an ability to adapt when circumstances seem impossible. I see that in you." Kale felt a warmth rise in his chest. Never before had someone alien or otherwise spoken of him in such a way. "I admire your people as well," he said carefully. "You have achieved harmony and wisdom in ways my own kind can only aspire to. But I am not accustomed to bonds formed by obligation. I value choice above all." Liara smiled faintly. "And choice you shall have. We do not seek to coerce, only to invite. But we hope that in time, you will see the value not only in joining our family, but in joining me." Days turned into weeks, and Kale began to understand the rhythm of this new life. He trained with Liara's people in defensive arts, shared strategies about trade routes, and even assisted in the design of new starship models. All the while, he and Liara grew closer, their conversations moving from formal exchanges to private confidences. Yet there was always the tension of expectation. Kale was human, a rare presence in Arendar, and some citizens whispered that no human could ever truly belong to their society. He faced these murmurs with quiet determination, proving through deeds rather than words that humanity's persistence was not to be underestimated. One day, a crisis emerged. A rogue faction from a distant system attempted to breach Arendar's defenses, seeking to seize resources. Kale found himself thrust into a leadership role alongside Liara's family, coordinating defenses, predicting enemy movements, and rallying both humans and aliens to defend the city. His strategies, drawn from human combat experience and an intuitive understanding of risk, turned the tide. When the threat was finally repelled, the citizens of Arendar celebrated, and Kale received a recognition seldom given to non-natives. Liara's father approached him, eyes filled with pride. "Kale, you have shown courage, wisdom, and loyalty. Not only have you proven the worth of humans, but you have also shown the heart necessary to stand among our people. Will you now accept the bond we offer, not out of obligation, but as a mutual choice?" Kale looked at Liara, who stood with a quiet, steady gaze. He realized that what had begun as an uncomfortable expectation had transformed into genuine respect and trust. "Yes," he said finally, a sense of peace settling over him. "I accept." The preparations were swift, but filled with care. The wedding ceremony blended human simplicity with alien grandeur. Light and sound interwove, creating a spectacle that celebrated not just the union of two individuals, but the joining of worlds. Liara and Kale stood before their families, exchanging vows that spoke of courage, loyalty, and the willingness to learn from one another. Through the ceremony, Kale marveled at the depth of Liara's understanding and empathy. She did not merely accept him. She embraced the differences between their species, teaching him that strength came not from conformity, but from the harmony of contrasts. Life after the union was not without challenges. Kale navigated cultural expectations, contributed to governance, and continued to explore the limits of human ingenuity in alien technology. Yet the foundation he and Liara built proved resilient. They became a symbol of human potential, demonstrating that the qualities humans carried, the ability to endure, innovate, and inspire, could enrich civilizations far beyond their home world. As the years passed, Kale often walked the terraces at night, staring at the stars above Arendar. Liara joined him frequently, and together they would speak of the future, their children, and the legacy they hoped to leave. Kale thought back to the day he first arrived, unsure of what awaited him, and marveled at how life had unfolded. What had seemed at first an imposition by an alien, family had transformed into a partnership of equals. In embracing the unknown, Kale discovered not only a home among the stars, but a deeper understanding of humanity's place in the galaxy. Through it all, Kale and Liara proved that courage and choice, when coupled with respect and empathy, could bridge worlds. The union that began under the weight of expectation blossomed into a bond that honored both human and alien virtues. a testament to what could be achieved when hearts and minds met without prejudice. And in the quiet moments, beneath the twin moons, Cale often found himself smiling, knowing that he had not only survived the galaxy's challenges, but had carved a place where humans could shine, proving that even among the stars, humanity's spirit was unmatched.